Well, welcome back, baseball fans, for another elimination video. Tonight we're going to be eliminating the San Francisco Giants in heartbreaking fashion, of course. What we're looking at here is actually, I went back 4 years. I want to get the 4-year run of Juan Marichal. So this would have been 3 seasons ago, and his first debuting the card in the 4-year carryover league, and the stat line at the bottom middle there is he's 8-6 with a 3.38 ERA. Pretty ordinary. The first time I used that card, he was brought in the league at the same time the Willie Mccovey card was brought in the league, and you see Mccovey at 250, 1644 for a 24-19 Giants team. All right, now we're going to look the next year, the second year of it, which was 2 years ago. Giants finished 29-22, and Marichal wins a Cy Young Award, 11-3 with a 2.24 ERA, which is precisely what the ERA on his card is. Well, it's actually 2.10 even. I thought it was 2.24. Never mind. Anyway, Mccovey hits 283 with 13-39, and Gaylord Perry gets added to the mix, and he's 6-4 with a 6.82 ERA. The other 69 guy they added was Dick Dietz, maybe? I can't recall. All right, then let's go to last year. We saw this before. Here's last year. Juan Marichal's 12-3, back-to-back Cy Youngs with a 2.23 ERA. Mccovey is 3.09, 14.43 with that card. And Gaylord Perry's 5-7 with a 4.97 ERA, which is why he was traded. Which brings us up to date today with the season we just played. Another almost. Couldn't quite get to a World Series. 2 great attempts, but now you see Marichal gets to the 13th win. After going 11-3 and then 12-3, he goes 13-4 with a 2.87 ERA. Gaylord Perry's gone. Willie Mccovey, one more crack with that card. Average is down. Homers are up. 282, 21-52. As we analyze this team, Tito Fuentes has been at a nice year at the bat. Dick Dietz, monster year of 70. Ron Hunt, look at the on-base percentage, 448. Him and Dick Dietz, incredible on base. Ken Henderson's solid. He'll continue on. Jim Hart, Bobby Bonds. That's your trouble right there. Your leadoff hitter at 210. 6 homer, 34 RBI, 20 walks, 60 strikeouts, and 6 stolen bases. That's just not enough out of the leadoff spot. That's going to hurt. That's not a misprint, folks. I hate to say it. And Willie Mays' batting average is there on the screen. And I remember I said he had a really lousy season. I didn't realize it was this lousy. But that's what he hit in 207 at-bats. Though you saw him at the height of his powers against the Cincinnati Reds. I want to remind you to check that video out again. The National League Divisional Series, Cincinnati Reds versus the Giants and Willie Mays. So, Marichal 13-4. Sam Mcdowell brought over in the trade for Gaylord Perry was fine. Ron Bryant was not fine, though he pitched really well in that game against Tom Seaver in the championship series. Good for Ron Bryant. Don McMahon was good in the bullpen. Steve Hamilton was not for the second year in a row. So it remains to be seen what the Giants are going to do now. They're getting older. And let's take a look at their card stack now. How much time in the tank do we have with this Giants team before they turn into pumpkins? At a certain point, the Dodgers are going to take over this division when they get Garvey and Lopes and Say and guys like that. The Astros are getting better. The Padres are, going to be a long time before they're relevant. The Reds are no longer in the West, so that helps the Giants' chances. But let's pull their 69 guys out. And well, there's some nice 69 cards in here that we're pulling out. And let's see here. One more to go, I believe. There we go. That should be 8. Oh boy. We see players in the Hall of Fame, and yeah, we've got some really good Giants having to be addressed. So what 12 Giant players are coming back? They're going to come back with a split of 8 hitters and 4 pitchers. All right, this batting lineup looks pretty darn good. The 1970 Dick Dietz, amazing card there. Willie Mays 70 card comes back. Yeah. 291 with 28 home runs. Big year in 70 for Willie Mays. He's probably 40 years old, and he's a 2-3 in center field. Unbelievable. Mccovey will come back to play first. We've got to pick a year. Hunt at second. Hart can play third. Spire can play short. Henderson in left. Bonds in center. Grant Hanley can be DH. Plenty of offense. Remember I said that they don't have any left-handers, hitters, and they have a switch hitter. That's about it. And we knew that Tug McGraw would have a huge advantage going against this team. He had 3 saves at the 4 Met wins. Now the pitching, the only pitcher we have on the books right now is Ron Bryant, starting pitcher. He's very good. Goes in the rotation. Was in the 3 spot. He could be a 2 spot. He could be an ace, really. He's very good. 2.90 ERA. Ken Wright was just a long reliever. Hamilton and McMahon were supposed to be solid at the back end of the bullpen. Statistically, they were not. Hard to, this card you would think would just be more lights out, but he got knocked around. Every time a righty came up, they seemed to roll this 4-7 double 1 to 17. That's a lot of extra base hits right in that little spot there. And McMahon, a righty gets lefties out. I don't know. They're really good pitchers. Hamilton's an ERA of 3, and McMahon's is 2.97. Maybe it was just bad luck. So 8 and 4 is the distribution of hitters to pitchers. But now we get to address what they are going to do. We went long and hard with Mccovey and Marichal, so we know their cards are going to come up. So let's find out what the Giants do with their 69 players. Okay, let's take a look at the Giants players from 69. Let's kind of look also, they're having a great year this year. But let's look at their franchise during this period. From 69 through 72 and 3, and just see how close they were to. We didn't hear from them in the postseason because they just missed out. So 69, they won 90 games. Couldn't win the West. The Braves won it at 93. It was close. Then 86, then 90, and then it fell apart in 72. A lot of near. They had 1 playoff appearance. In 71, losing, of course, to the Pirates. Bonds was our best player in 71. We have that card. Perry was the best player in 70. We traded him. Mccovey, best player in 69. We still have the rights to him. Spire, best player in 72. We still have him. You don't see Marichal's name in here anywhere. Interesting. All right, so let's start plugging in some players and see what's going on with the Giants. We're going to start with Tito Fuentes. I think Tito, there he is. Second one. So Tito Fuentes can play second, third, and short. That's going to be important. We know Spire is the shortstop moving forward, but Ron Hunt is an expo on the Giants. Fuentes might be better suited to be a second baseman. So his 69 card has him playing third. 70, 71 to 73. When you look at these cards, no OPS is above 7, though he gets 20 MVP votes in 73 at age 29. All the performances are pretty even. He's a keeper because he's a Giant during this entire time, but no reason to decide which year you pick. And if for some reason we find that we prefer other Giants, he could be put on waivers. So his performance is, it's good. It's not Hall of Fame worthy though. I mean, so if they get too many guys, they could push him into waivers. So we'll see what we got for the rest of this, because there's a lot of good players to look at. Jose Herrera. Herrera. Hose. There's two of them. This is the one. 67 to 70. Played for the Expos, Houston and Montreal. In 1970, he only had one at bat, so he will be retired. A nice little free agent used for one season. Thank you, Jose. You're on retirement. Next up, Hal Lanier. Kind of lost his job to Chris Spire. 64 to 73. Slick fielder, switch hitter, tall shortstop, 6'2". But the stick is going to be troublesome. Spire, we don't need you at short. Second and third utility spot would be worthwhile. He's a Giant in 70 and 71. He's a Yankee in 72 and 73. Nothing really stands out. If I need a keeper, we can keep him. But you know what? I think I'm putting this guy on waivers. And if the Giants want to bring him back, they can bring him back. Let's put him on waivers, because we're looking for performance more than just participation here. So Lanier goes on waivers because Chris Spire took his job. All right, next up, it's Willie Mccovey. What a monster year for this card. Unbelievable performance in 69. Let's look at the surrounding years too. So, you know, 39, you know, he had 9 more homers. Well, he had 44 in 63. 121 walks. Got the MVP in 69. Has 137 walks in 70. With a 612. Jeez. So it looks like 70 would be the one. You really want to go with ridiculous, right? Ridiculous is what we're going for here. Hall of Fame is not good enough. We need something beyond the Hall of Fame. Hall of Ridiculous. So we're going to go with the 1970 Hall of Ridiculous card for Mccovey. And see if we can... And I'm going to highlight that with an exclamation point or two. To remind myself that, you know, it's almost as good as a 69 card. So, all right, time to go to the pitchers. I gotta say, I am kind of feeling sad right now to do this. Juan Marichal. It's 4 years of this man's card. Has been absolutely unbelievable. Pete Rose, in interviews, talks about how hard it was to hit this guy. And I believe Pete Rose. So, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, these all-stars. Look at this. All right. All right, so 69. And 71. It's close. Goes 70, a little bit of a slump. 412. 71, he comes back, buck 07. So you want to do 71, Marichal. I'm going to highlight that one while I can. Because these guys are running it back. You know that. There's no give up. Now, next guy is Sam Mcdowell, acquired in that Gaylord Perry trade. So they're definitely bringing him back. You don't make a trade that important. Now, eventually, the Cleveland Indians are going to win this trade because Perry will be very good in 72, 3, and 4 when McDowell is near the end of his career. So in the beginning of the trade, look at the long career in Cleveland, right? In the beginning of this trade, it looks good for the Giants. So we bumped it up. You see, the trade didn't happen until 72. We just made the trade happen here. So he's still Giants property. And oddly enough, when he pitched for the Giants in 72 at the age of 29, he wasn't very good. So clearly the Indians won that trade. But in the 4-year carryover league, the Giants are winning that trade. By the way, guess who has the first pick in the draft? The Cleveland Indians, who had the worst record in baseball. So, I'd have to say that the Giants definitely won that trade. So this is the Mcdowell card we just used. He comes back and pretty much recreates it in 1970. Cy Young votes, 300 innings. Run this back in 70. So he's also the $10,000 1970 guy. And so what's kind of cool, Mccovey and Mcdowell can come back in 70, which means that locks up that season. None of these other pitchers can come back in that year unless you kick Mccovey and Mcdowell out, which I don't think they'll do. Next pitcher is Dean Chance, not associated with the Giants, picked up in the token round of the draft to be number 4 starter. He pitched the card, I think he pitches for the Senators. No, the Twins. Pitches for the Twins. So, 67, he had a nice year. And 68. 69, only 20 starts. In 70 and in 71, you see his numbers are not that great. In 70, he qualifies for waivers. He pitched a lot, but he didn't pitch effectively. So we'll just put him on waivers so he can sign anywhere he wants. Congratulations, Dean. We almost got you into a World Series. You probably... Well, he kind of had a star-crossed career, too, because I think he missed out on the Twins World Series of 65, right? Let's just take a peek here. California Angels. Yeah, 65 and 66. So he missed out on the Twins World Series appearance of 65. He was with the Angels. He's with the Twins in 67. So 69, he felt the heartbreak losing to the Orioles in the ALCS. In 70, he's with Cleveland and the Mets for a cup of coffee, and then Tigers in 71. Tigers go to the Championship Series in 72, not 71. 71 is the Orioles. Anyway, moving on to the last pitcher, Frank Lindsey. He's got some nice cards coming up, I believe, from 63 to 74. This was kind of a futures pick, because 69, his numbers 14 and 9, all in relief. High whip of a $143, but he's got a nice 71 with the Cardinals, and 72 and 73. He's got nice numbers here. To qualify for waivers, you need to pitch in 1970. He probably does in 87 innings with the Giants and Cardinals. But let's go check that out to make sure by going to superds.tripod.com/SOM rosters and look at the 70 reprint to see if there's a Frank Lindsey card for the Giants or Cardinals, so we can put him on waivers. You can only put a guy on waivers if he's going to be in the league next year. Not on the Giants there. Oh, he's on the Cardinals. All right, he qualifies for waivers, so we will do that. And that's the Giants. So it kind of makes sense. You're bringing back Marichal, McDowell, Mccovey, and Fuentes. And all you got to do is decide if you want to put Fuentes at second, move Ron Hunt to third, or trade Ron Hunt to the Expos, or whatever. But that looks pretty solid. Running it back, trying it one more time. After 1970, though, Mccovey and Marichal will start to, well, after 70, Mccovey will start to come down to earth, be ordinary. Same with McDowell. Marichal will have 2 more years of Hall of Fame caliber performance. And that's it tonight for the San Francisco Giants. Thanks for checking out the video. We'll see you next time.